My name is Michelle Crowley. I'm here with the FDC Group today to record their podcast, and I'm delighted to be joined by Barry Murphy. How are you, Barry?
Good, no, thank you.
Barry, you're the Deputy General Manager of the FDC Group. Can you just speak to me about your career to date?
Somewhat varied. I started in FDC, I'm in my 28th year, 1997, having graduated with a BCom from UCC. Went working for Norwich Union for a little bit before that and didn't particularly like that. It was very much professional focused as opposed to people focused, and even though I didn't know it at the time, that was what didn't suit me. Took 12 months out, went building for a bit, and in 97 my father, who set up FDC Group 50 odd years ago now, asked me if I was interested in coming working for it. It was new to me and a surprise, and I suppose we've started from there, and I'm still here.
Brilliant. What a diverse career, and good advice from your father, seeing as you have nearly 500 employees now. It's grown organically and through mergers. And could you talk a little bit about your responsibilities with the FDC Group?
I suppose they've evolved over the years. I started out as an area manager, which is, I suppose, the core client-facing element of FDC, and that evolved over time. I suppose I have a significant interest in commercial dairy farming and maybe business development and meeting new people and getting into the problem-solving space. If problems can be solved, they all can. And my role today is I manage one of the companies in FDC, and I spend a good bit of my time supporting the management. And on the business development front, we have a national outreach agenda, and I suppose I'm putting some time into that.
And strategically, from business development, what's your focus at the moment?
We're very much interested with people in front of people. So people that have family businesses that have needs for advice and support, that's the space we want to be in. And it is I suppose a lot of time is put into visiting with people, hearing their story, putting in front of them what we can do for them, and see if that suits them or otherwise. And I do quite a bit of that. Presenting
solutions, I like it. So in the 28 years you've been working with the FDC Group, give us one thing that surprised you over the years.
I think initially the big surprise for me was the value that's put on your opinion. And clients value your opinion as being somebody with experience, even though that experience might only be 12 months historic. And getting comfortable in that space was, I suppose, a challenge, but also it was very surprising as to, even when you're fresh on the ground, what value was put on your opinion and the requests that were being made for it.
Okay, very good, very good. And what's important to you from a career perspective, and what actually motivates you to get up in the morning and come in here and work hard?
I like coming to work.
Good.
I think that's the most important thing. My own view is you've no business going to work if you don't like it. And I've been very fortunate to land on something that I like, and that's been good to me. And, I'm thankful for that every day.
Yeah. And client satisfaction is obviously a number one for you as well, if you speak about people to people.
Sure, it is what FDC is about. Where our business is providing client solutions and going the journey with them and they going with us. And it's very much a medium to long-term relationship that we're looking to cultivate and enhance and evolve, and that is, the real rewarding thing. Dealing with the public is very challenging, very rewarding, and very, I suppose, demanding of time.
Mm-hmm. And in terms of the advisory role that you have here, there are many priorities, of course, but could you just narrow it down to three most important priorities?
I think it's very important that if you're asked an opinion by a client, you give it. And I would like to think that in FDC, if you meet somebody and you are a client of FDC, you won't be told, well, you could do A, you could do B, you could do C, make up your mind. I'd like to think that we would say you could do A, you could do B, you could do C, but if I was you, I'd do B. And I think that's what's being asked, and I think that's what is not being provided universally. And I'd like that we as an organisation and all our 550 plus staff would be comfortable giving an opinion and suggesting that if they were in the client's shoes in response to their query, that this is what they would do.
fantastic to have that autonomy as well and to give your opinion, which is really important, your professional opinion. One thing I really admire about the FDC Group is the focus on the rural. We are an agri-focused group, obviously, but in the rural economy, you play a huge part, I think. So it actually gives, I suspect you have a lot of people that farm part-time and work in offices. Would that be fair to say?
I think we have some, there's no doubt. I suppose if you go back to our roots, we were established in rural Ireland in the front porch of a small 2-bed cottage. And it has evolved from there. And I would like to think that we haven't forgotten where we've come from, and we haven't forgotten the people that have supported us in that journey and continue to do so.
Yeah.
The bedrock of our business is family business in rural Ireland. And while FDC stands for Farm Development Co-op, I think certainly you could put family in there now as being a big factor in where we're at. The intergenerational challenges and opportunities that are presented by that, not only in the farming community, are things that we have a lot of experience in, and, you know, present challenges but also present opportunities. And if I was to describe where we are involved with family business in rural Ireland.
Brilliant, okay.
You make a connection with an individual as opposed to an entity.
And have you seen a lot of that intergenerational dealings as the years have gone on?
You know, you will talk to people that are in FDC with a long time now, and they will tell you they're dealing with the third generation of the families involved in the same business. Sure, it's a natural evolution to the business relationship that you would look to be the trusted advisor and advise as to how the business transitions. So yes is the answer to that.
A trusted partnership, absolutely. So we're effectively in full employment, and why would somebody want to come and work with FDC Group?
Well, from my own perspective, being totally selfish about it, it's a good place to work. I have found it a very good place to work, and I enjoy coming to work every day. I think if you were to look at the FDC Group, we would not have a traditional model, never did, in that we're interested in hiring people to come and, I suppose, go their career journey with us and partner us in that for their entire career. That's our interest. And we'd like to think that we can evolve and adapt and provide opportunities for people. And I would like to think that if you came to work for FDC, you would look at the suite of opportunity that this organisation presents to you, and there is nothing that you can't do. And certainly we would consider ourselves very deficient if people who are working in our organisation and are on our team had ambition to evolve and grow their career and didn't see that as a possibility in FDC. I'd be very disappointed if that was the case.
Very good. Your biggest challenge at the moment facing you in terms of agribusiness and the outlook?
Ironically, our biggest challenge, I think, is exacerbated by our success and growth, in that if you were to look at the evolution of our business from one employee to 550 now on the team, how that journey has evolved is quite startling. And I would think that our biggest challenge as an organisation is not putting too much demands on our team to help us as an organisation to fulfil our ambition, because historically the big challenge would have been, how do we grow our business? How do we find that business? How do we look to develop that? I think now our biggest challenge is, how do we look to develop and evolve our team to cope with the business that's presenting itself to us?
Absolutely. And in terms of development then, what resources would you put into that?
Again, I suppose we would have been a very informal organisation for a long time and continue to be. We very much encourage autonomy and, I suppose, freedom of expression and thought, and would want to continue to do that. So I suppose we want to be very careful that our training and development doesn't stymie that. Having said that, we have, in conjunction with our marketing department for the last number of years, looked to become more formal in our training. And we have a training department now and an FDC college that's available to every staff member to upskill themselves and to, I suppose, look to even evolve themselves in the organisation out beyond where their existing role is. And we're looking to encourage that. That's very much a learning from our perspective, and the feedback that we're getting from our staff is crucial, I think, as to how we evolve that.
Absolutely, yeah. And the very strong foundation that you're built on, that is hugely important. In terms of integrity, what does it mean to you?
Absolute honesty and transparency on both sides of the equation, I would suggest. I think we've all got to realise how valuable and important and crucial the relationship is between our advice and our clients. Our advice is being asked for, and that's not something we take lightly. So I think we must be very honest with ourselves and our clients at all times. And I think if you have that, and that's, I suppose, layered on top of a basic trust, then you won't go too far wrong.
Brilliant, I like it. In terms of, if we think strategically for the FDC Group, what challenges and opportunities do you see coming down the road?
I think they're twofold. I suppose if you look at traditional accounting and financial services, there's an awful lot of consolidation in that sector. And that consolidation is about building scale and looking to monetize that scale. I think from our perspective, we would like that our service offering would not be diluted by scale, and the intimacy of the relationship between our team and our clients would not be diluted by scale. So that's quite a significant challenge to find that balance. I think that the other is that, and this is certainly coming home to roost with regard to ourselves over the last 4 or 5 years, in that our first employee retired 12 months ago. So our organisation was built on loyalty on both sides of that equation. And while that still exists, there is a portability now associated with working from home, working remotely, people having numbers of jobs and careers in their lifetime, that we've just got to accept. And I think that for us to evolve our model such that we're allowing for that movement of people as being just a fact of life, that has taken us a while to get used to be honest. You put a lot of time and effort into developing and training people, and I suppose our business is all about our relationship, both internal and external. That's not something that you just turn a switch on and it happens. So it has taken us a while to get used to the somewhat destabilizing effect of people coming and going.
And scale, absolutely, yeah.
Not diluting that with the scale is tricky. Yeah.
And focusing on that core business, yeah. So if I was a young person considering a career in FDC Group, give me 3 reasons why I would come to work for FDC.
We want you to come to work with us first, I suppose. Absolutely. The door is open. We'd like you to walk through it. We're not a traditional organisation in that if you join FDC, we intend you to stay. We'd like you to retire out of here. And I suppose it's for us to put in front of people the career opportunity and make them believe that that is what it is. But I suppose the autonomy you spoke about earlier is a fact from day one. So I'd like to think that you can be what you want to be within our organisation. That's why you join.
Barry Murphy from the FDC Group, thank you very much.
You're welcome.